So to me, the defining moment, and if you guys want to throw a flag on this and say, nope, that's too much, the defining moment starts in the second half against Baltimore, and it ends when Deshaun Watson is declared out for the season. Because to me, that's like a great TV show, right? That's a great like season finale or the ending of a TV show. Like everything is going right. It finally happened. Finally, after a year and a half, we saw Deshaun Watson look like Deshaun Watson. The Browns had their quarterback. They beat Baltimore. Oh my God, they might go win the division. And then the episode ends with Deshaun Watson being out for the season. And now you're right back where you were. And like, what are they going to do?
I think we all left that Baltimore game. I know I was like thinking, and we talked about it, like this team has a legit chance to get to Vegas. Like it just felt like that. And then it felt like the world was crashing down around them like 2 days later. My other one that I was thinking of is the Jets game where they clinch a playoff spot, because I do think it's interesting. We've already heard like Andrew Berry talk about this extensively, how like that's the kind of environment they want to have. Like everyone talked about how that, you know, I think the postseason environment or playoff environment is like one of the most overused comparisons in sports. But like Andrew Berry talked about, that's probably the closest thing that, you know, they've gotten a chance to see to that in Cleveland. Like, what would it be like to host a home playoff game? And you think about the energy and Nick Chubb coming out and smashing the guitar in the Batman mask and some of the crazy plays Joe Flacco made with a guy holding onto his face mask and making an amazing throw anyway. Like, to me, it's like I was between thinking of the Baltimore game and the Jets game as like the two games I'm really going to remember from this season.
I went with the defining moment of the season for me was when they dialed up Joe Flacco on his couch in South Jersey and found this unbelievable quarterback sitting at home, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays going down to the Little League fields and throwing the ball to his dad at different spots on the field. His 62-year-old former running back for Penn State dad, just throwing the ball to a spot, to a spot, to a spot, which I actually think helped his accuracy a ton. Even though he was already very accurate, I think by the time he got back out there on the field, repping it over and over and over it again, like he was doing, just helped him so much. So I think that moment right there, when we talk about defining moment, I think you have to look at the season as a whole and how it turned out and what happened that season. And the reason why they made the playoffs and they saved the season was because of that moment right there.
Ashley, I'm always second guessing myself on everything. That's just the story of my life. And now Mary Kay just really has me second guessing myself here on this defining moment discussion.
Yeah, I'm voting with Mary Kay on this award. I think she made the argument so nicely. And I think because of how I made the argument for Joe Flacco earlier on this very podcast, I think I have to change my vote and side with her on this one because it's for basically all the same reasons. I think it's okay for a guy to get multiple awards in some capacity on this made-up award show that we make up the rules and categories for. So I definitely agree. I think big picture, talking about, you know, what's the story of this season? Like, what would be the first thing I tell somebody about this season in 10 years? I think I'm going to look back and be like, oh, yeah, that's the year they went and got Joe Flacco off the couch and somehow still made the playoffs. So I think this is the right